Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. We're diving deep into the world of the Kennedy half dollar, particularly the special 1776 to 1976 edition, which stands out for its historical significance and, surprisingly, its monetary value. When we think of iconic coins, the Kennedy half dollar is hard to miss. Introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy, this coin was created shortly after his tragic assassination. The U.S. Mint struck millions of these coins over the years, with various designs and minting errors that have made certain editions quite rare and valuable. But the 1776 to 1976 edition of the Kennedy half dollar is especially noteworthy, as it marks the United States bicentennial, an important milestone in the nation's history. The Kennedy half dollar that was minted for the bicentennial of the United States, which ran from 1776 to 1976, features a unique reverse design. Instead of the typical eagle on the back, it showcases a depiction of the Liberty Bell, with the moon in the background, and 13 stars representing the 13 original colonies. This design was chosen to celebrate the nation's 200th birthday and is widely regarded as a symbol of freedom, independence, and patriotism. Over time, these coins have become not just pieces of currency, but collector's items, especially the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar. These special coins were produced in large numbers, but that doesn't mean every single one of them is valuable. Like any collectible, there are certain factors that determine the worth of a coin: its condition, its rarity, and any special characteristics it might possess. For example, coins that are in mint state, or those that have been preserved in pristine condition, tend to command higher prices in the market. Additionally, any errors in the minting process can also significantly increase a coin's value. If you're looking through your collection or inherited coin jar and you happen to find a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar, you might wonder if it's worth anything more than its face value. The answer, in most cases, is no. These coins were produced in high quantities, so they're not exactly rare. However, this doesn't mean there aren't valuable coins out there. Coins that are in uncirculated condition, or those that were part of limited special minting runs, can still be highly sought after by collectors. So, what makes a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar stand out in terms of value? Well, the most valuable of these coins are those that have been graded by professional coin grading services as being in flawless condition, as well as those that feature rare minting errors. Some collectors are particularly keen on coins that have slight variations in design or unusual imperfections that make them stand out from the typical run. One of the rarest and most valuable variations of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar is the 40% silver version, which was struck for collectors in the years surrounding the bicentennial. While most of the 1776 to 1976 coins were made of a copper-nickel alloy, a limited number were made from 40% silver, and these are the coins collectors should keep their eyes peeled for. Silver content alone can boost the value, but it's the rarity and condition of these coins that really push their worth into the thousands of dollars range. There are also some special editions that were produced with specific marks, including coins from certain mints. The Denver Mint, for example, has coins that are more sought after due to the limited quantity and unique markings. This can make certain versions of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar worth significantly more than others, even if they appear to be nearly identical at first glance. So, you might be wondering, how much could a Kennedy half dollar from 1776 to 1976 actually be worth? The value of these coins varies widely depending on factors such as the condition, type of metal used, and any special characteristics like minting errors. A common, well-worn 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar might only fetch a few dollars above its face value. But if you happen to come across a coin in mint condition, especially one made of 40% silver or with rare minting features, the value could be much higher. And here's where it gets really interesting. Some 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollars have been sold for prices that might surprise you. While most of the coins might only be worth a few dollars, there have been instances where certain examples of these coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. One particular coin, known for its immaculate condition and rare minting qualities, was recently sold for an astounding $95,000. That's right, $95,000. It just goes to show that, when it comes to rare coins, the value is all in the details. Whether it's a minting error, the silver content, or simply a coin that has survived in remarkable condition, the right Kennedy half dollar from 1776 to 1976 could be worth a fortune. So, the next time you're checking your pocket change or going through an old coin collection, remember that there might just be a gem hidden among the familiar ones. If you think you've found something special, it might be worth having it professionally appraised. You never know, you could be holding on to a piece of American history that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 2. Let's take a deep dive into the world of this particular half dollar and what makes it such a sought-after collector's item. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, just a few months after his tragic assassination. Over the years, the coin has seen various design changes and minting variations, but the one thing that remained constant was the image of Kennedy's profile on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse. However, by 1981, the U.S. Mint had refined the coin's production and design process, resulting in some interesting variations that collectors have been eager to get their hands on. Unlike the earlier years of minting, the 1981 Kennedy half dollar was produced primarily in a copper-nickel-clad composition, with no special silver content. The early 1980s were a period when the U.S. Mint focused on producing coins that were more economical to manufacture, and the Kennedy half dollar was no exception. But despite its more common composition, the 1981 coin carries with it a certain level of interest among collectors. While the face value of the coin is 50 cents, its true worth can be much higher depending on factors like condition, rarity, and specific minting details. One of the most important factors in determining the value of any coin, including the 1981 Kennedy half dollar, is its condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are always in higher demand. For example, a Kennedy half dollar that has been well preserved, with no signs of wear and tear, is far more valuable than one that has been in circulation for years. This is because uncirculated coins are seen as rarer and more desirable by collectors, who are always looking for pieces that retain as much of their original luster and detail as possible. Another factor that can affect the value of the 1981 Kennedy half dollar is its rarity. While the 1981 half dollar was produced in fairly high numbers, there are still certain variations that are harder to find than others. For instance, coins minted in certain locations or with unique features, such as minting errors or special die varieties, can make the coin more valuable. Errors in the production process, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or unusual die markings, are especially prized among coin collectors, as they create a one-of-a-kind piece of history. The 1981 Kennedy half dollar is also part of a larger collection of coins that were struck throughout the 1980s. Because of this, there are some collectors who focus on completing sets of coins from this era, which can drive up the demand for specific years, including 1981. Collectors may be interested in acquiring a full set of Kennedy half dollars, and if they are missing the 1981 coin, they might be willing to pay a premium for one in good condition. When you look at the 1981 Kennedy half dollar, it's easy to see why it holds appeal beyond its simple face value. The coin represents a piece of U.S. history that reflects not only the legacy of President Kennedy but also the evolution of American coinage during the 1980s. For those who have an eye for detail, or a passion for collecting, it's more than just a coin, it's a symbol of American heritage and a potential investment. But how much can a 1981 Kennedy half dollar really be worth? While most of these coins are not considered rare or highly valuable, there are certain circumstances where their worth can skyrocket. Coins that are in perfect condition, coins with special minting features, or those that belong to specific, limited runs can fetch impressive prices. For example, while a regular 1981 Kennedy half-dollar in good condition might only be worth a couple of dollars above its face value, the price can soar for coins in exceptional condition, particularly those with unique characteristics. And here's where things get exciting. Some rare 1981 Kennedy half-dollars, whether due to their flawless condition or because of special circumstances, have sold for mind-blowing amounts. In fact, one particularly remarkable example of a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, with rare minting details and impeccable preservation, recently sold for an incredible $76,000. It's fascinating to think that a coin that was once worth just 50 cents could end up commanding such a hefty price on the market. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about the face value of the coin, but about the history, the rarity, and the condition that can transform a humble piece of currency into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. So, the next time you come across a 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to examine it closely. While it might just seem like any other coin, there's a chance that it could be more valuable than you think. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone looking to learn more about these fascinating pieces of history, the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect example of how a simple coin can hold incredible value. And who knows, your very own 1981 Kennedy half-dollar could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 3. We're diving into a specific year, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. While this particular coin might not be as widely discussed as some other famous coins, it has its own unique story, and more importantly, it can be worth a lot of money under the right circumstances. So, if you're a collector, or even just someone who enjoys learning about rare finds, you might want to sit tight, because what we're about to cover could just change the way you look at this seemingly ordinary coin. First, let's set the stage. By 1983, the United States Mint had been producing the Kennedy half-dollar for almost 20 years. This coin, featuring the profile of President Kennedy on the front, had become an iconic symbol of the 1960s. By the time the 1983 version was minted, the U.S. government had long moved away from using silver in its regular coinage, opting for a more economical copper-nickel-clad composition. This decision was made to reduce the cost of minting coins, especially with the rising price of silver. The Kennedy half-dollar of 1983 was no exception. Unlike the silver coins that were produced in the early years following JFK's assassination, the 1983 version had no precious metal content, at least, not in the way many collectors might have hoped. At face value, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar was worth just 50 cents. But like many other coins, its value can change drastically depending on its rarity, condition, and the specific circumstances surrounding its minting. When most people think of valuable coins, they often imagine those that are rare or were produced with some kind of special feature, and that's exactly what we're dealing with when it comes to the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. The coin was produced in relatively high numbers, and its composition was typical for the era. But here's where things get interesting. Not every 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is created equal. While most of these coins are relatively common, there are certain versions that are much rarer and much more valuable than the average coin you might find in your pocket change. So, what makes a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar so special? The answer lies in the condition of the coin, the rarity of certain minting details, and the way it was produced. For one, coins that are in mint state, meaning they have never been used in circulation and are essentially in pristine condition, tend to hold much more value. A coin that has been carefully stored and protected from wear and tear can often be worth much more than one that has been handled and spent. And this is where coin collectors get excited. Finding a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar that is in perfect condition is something of a holy grail for those in the community. Another important factor to consider is the mint mark. The United States Mint produces coins at multiple facilities, and the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is no different. There are coins from the Philadelphia Mint, which lacks a mint mark, and those produced at the Denver Mint, which carry a DE Mint mark. While either of these varieties is considered extraordinarily rare, collectors may seek out specific mint marks to complete their sets, which can increase the value of the coin. But perhaps the most interesting aspect of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar comes from coins that were mistakenly produced with special characteristics, errors that make them stand out and significantly increase their worth. These errors might include things like double strikes, off-center minting, or die cracks, which are unusual imperfections that can occur during the manufacturing process. When these errors happen, they make the coin a unique piece of history, and collectors will pay top dollar for these rare finds. Now, you might be thinking, but is it really possible for a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar to be worth more than just a few dollars? The short answer is yes, it certainly is. And here's the kicker. While most 1983 Kennedy half-dollars are fairly modest in value, some of the more pristine examples or those with rare minting errors can fetch extraordinary prices on the open market. In fact, there have been instances where rare 1983 Kennedy half-dollars have been sold for mind-boggling amounts. Coins in perfect, uncirculated condition, especially those with rare characteristics, have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. One particularly well-preserved and error-riddled example of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar was recently sold for a jaw-dropping $70,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $70,000. This is the power of rarity and condition in the world of coin collecting. A coin that was originally worth just 50 cents could end up being worth an astounding amount of money, depending on how rare it is, how well it has been preserved, and whether it contains any minting mistakes that make it unique. The value of a coin like the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is not just about the material it's made from, but about its place in history. Every time a coin like this is minted, it carries with it a piece of the story of the United States and its people. And for collectors, that history is part of what makes the coin so valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector who's been in the game for years or just someone looking to learn about the world of coins, it's fascinating to think that a coin from 1983 could one day be worth a small fortune. So, the next time you find yourself with a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to inspect it. Look for any special minting errors, check the condition, and make sure to pay attention to the mint mark. Because while it might just seem like another regular coin at first glance, there's a chance it could be worth far more than you ever expected. Top 4. When it comes to American coins, few have captured the imagination of collectors as much as the Kennedy half-dollar. Created to honor the life and legacy of President John F. Kennedy, this coin has been in circulation for decades, evolving in design and composition as the years passed. But among all the different versions of the Kennedy half-dollar, the 1988 edition holds a unique place. If you're someone who appreciates the history behind coins or is just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar could be a coin that has more value than you ever expected. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, just a few months after President Kennedy was assassinated, and quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Over the years, the design of the coin has remained largely the same, with Kennedy's profile on the front and an eagle on the reverse side. However, as time went on, the U.S. Mint began to experiment with different materials and production methods. By the time the 1980s rolled around, the Kennedy half-dollar was predominantly made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. While this made it less valuable in terms of precious metal content, the value of the coin was never solely based on the materials it was made of. It's the rarity, condition, and historical significance that can really make these coins worth a great deal. The 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can become valuable when certain factors align. The coin was minted in high numbers, with millions of these coins entering circulation. However, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is still prized by collectors, and that's due to a number of important factors. One of the most crucial factors in determining the value of any coin is its condition. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are always more valuable than those that have been in circulation. The more wear and tear a coin experiences, the less valuable it becomes. In contrast, a well-preserved 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, free from scratches, discoloration, or any other signs of use, can be a highly coveted item among collectors, but there's more to it than just condition. The rarity of a coin also plays a key role in its value. And while the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in significant quantities, certain variations of the coin are harder to find, making them more valuable. For example, the U.S. Mint produces coins at different facilities across the country, each with its own mint mark. A coin struck at the Philadelphia Mint will not have a mint mark, while one struck at the Denver Mint will have a D mint mark. Although the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar wasn't made in any particularly limited run, collectors often seek specific mint marks to complete their sets, which can drive up the value of coins from certain mints. What truly sets some 1988 Kennedy half-dollars apart from the rest are the potential errors that can occur during the minting process. Like many other coins, there are instances when the U.S. Mint accidentally produces coins with flaws, errors that make the coin a unique and rare collectible. Errors such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks can all make a coin stand out, and when these errors are present on a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, the value can skyrocket. A coin with an error is highly prized because it's considered a rare piece of history that can't be replicated. If you happen to find a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar with any minting errors, it's definitely worth having it professionally graded and appraised, as the value can go much higher than a typical coin from the same year. Even if the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar you have isn't perfect, there are still ways it can have value beyond its face value of 50 cents. Many collectors seek out coins from specific years to complete a set, and the 1988 coin could be a key piece in a collection of Kennedy half-dollars from the 1980s. As with all collectibles, rarity combined with demand plays a significant role in determining the price of a coin. The 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, while not rare in terms of mintage numbers, can still be valuable when the right collector comes along looking to fill a gap in their collection. You might be wondering how much an ordinary 1988 Kennedy half-dollar could actually be worth. While most of these coins in average condition may only be worth a few dollars above their face value, there are examples that can fetch impressive amounts on the market. For instance, coins that are in mint condition, have a rare mint mark, or feature minting errors have been known to command higher prices. In fact, a particularly well-preserved 1988 Kennedy half-dollar with a rare minting error recently sold for an incredible $61,000. Yes, that's right, $61,000. A coin that was once worth just 50 cents could end up being worth a small fortune, and that's what makes coin collecting such an exciting and unpredictable hobby. The value of a coin can vary dramatically based on its rarity, condition, and any unique characteristics it might possess. And this is why it's always worth taking a close look at your coins, especially if you're not sure of their true worth. Coin collectors, investors, and enthusiasts all understand that sometimes, a coin isn't just about what it's made from, but about the history it carries with it. The 1988 Kennedy half-dollar might seem like just another coin from the 1980s, but when you start digging deeper, you realize that it could hold hidden value. Whether it's a coin in perfect condition, one with a rare mint mark, or one that has an unusual minting error, the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar could be far more valuable than you ever imagined. So, the next time you come across a 1988 Kennedy half-dollar in your collection, or even in your pocket change, don't just dismiss it. Take a closer look. You might be holding on to something worth a lot more than you think. With the potential for error coins, rare mint marks, and the overall demand for high-quality pieces, that 1988 Kennedy half-dollar could be your ticket to a substantial payday. Top 5. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the more interesting editions of the Kennedy half-dollar, the 1992 coin. You may be wondering, what makes the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar so unique, and how much could it possibly be worth? Let's find out. In 1992, the United States Mint was continuing the tradition of producing the Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that had been circulating for nearly 3 decades. By this time, the coin was no longer made of silver, as the Mint had shifted to using a copper-nickel-clad composition in the late 1960s. The 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, like many coins produced in the late 20th century, was made using this more economical composition, which helped keep the production costs low while still allowing the coin to maintain its iconic design. The obverse side of the coin features a profile of President Kennedy, while the reverse shows a bald eagle, which is a hallmark of American coinage. At first glance, a 1992 Kennedy half-dollar might seem like any other coin that you might find in your pocket change. After all, millions of these coins were minted and distributed throughout the United States. However, what many people don't realize is that there's a lot more to the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar than meets the eye. While the coin might not have been minted in limited quantities or with precious metals like its predecessors, it still holds significant value for collectors, especially when certain conditions are met. One of the most important factors when determining the value of a coin, including the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, is its condition. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it tends to be. Coins that are in uncirculated, mint condition state are highly sought after by collectors because they have been preserved without any wear or damage. A 1992 Kennedy half-dollar that has been kept in excellent condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or signs of circulation, can command a much higher price than one that has been in regular use for decades. If you happen to have a 1992 coin that looks as though it just came out of the mint, you might be holding on to something more valuable than you thought. But it's not just about condition. Rarity plays a huge role in a coin's value as well. Although millions of 1992 Kennedy half-dollars were minted, there are certain characteristics that can make a coin rarer than others. For example, the mint mark on the coin can help determine its rarity. Coins produced at different U.S. mint facilities carried different mint marks. For the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint have no mint mark, while those from the Denver Mint carry a DE mint mark. While either of these varieties is necessarily rare on its own, the scarcity of certain coins, coupled with the demand from collectors, can affect the overall value. Another key factor that can significantly increase the value of a 1992 Kennedy half-dollar is the possibility of minting errors. Throughout the history of coin production, the U.S. Mint has occasionally made mistakes during the striking process. These errors can result in coins that are unique or contain unusual features, which makes them highly desirable to collectors. Common minting errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, imperfections that make a coin stand out and turn it into a one-of-a-kind piece. If you happen to find a 1992 Kennedy half-dollar with any kind of error, it's worth taking a closer look and possibly getting it professionally appraised, as these error coins can be worth far more than a standard coin from the same year. The 1992 Kennedy half-dollar also holds value for collectors who are looking to complete sets of coins from specific years. The Kennedy half-dollar has been issued in a variety of different editions over the years, and many collectors focus on obtaining specific years and variations to complete their collections. The 1992 coin, while not particularly rare in terms of mintage numbers, still plays an important role in these sets, and collectors are often willing to pay a premium for coins that help them complete their collection. Now, you might be wondering just how much a 1992 Kennedy half-dollar could actually be worth. While most of these coins are worth only a few dollars above their face value of 50 cents, there are some examples that can fetch impressive amounts at auction. If the coin is in pristine condition or contains any unique characteristics, its value can increase significantly. In fact, one particularly rare and flawless 1992 Kennedy half-dollar, which contained a rare minting error and was in perfect uncirculated condition, recently sold for an incredible $54,000. That's right, $54,000. A coin that started as just 50 cents could have skyrocketed in value because of its rarity, condition, and unique features. This is a testament to the fact that in the world of coin collecting, a small difference in condition or a single minting error can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth thousands. The 1992 Kennedy half-dollar may not have been minted in limited numbers or crafted from precious metals, but it still represents a fascinating piece of U.S. history. Whether it's the coin's flawless condition, its rarity, or the presence of minting errors, there are plenty of reasons why collectors seek out the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar. So, if you happen to find one in your collection, don't just assume it's worth nothing. Take the time to examine it closely. Who knows, You could be holding a rare and valuable coin that could make you a small fortune. In the world of numismatics, there's always the possibility that a simple coin like the 1992 Kennedy half-dollar could be worth far more than its face value. It's a reminder that in the world of coins, every piece carries a story, and sometimes, that story is worth far more than you ever imagined.